we're using the cell phone, so let me know if it's working okay. And today we're going to demo some different types of applique. Well, we're actually only going to demo one type of applique, but I'm going to show you some different types of applique. It's always good to know your choices, and each kind of applique gives you a different effect. So and if you have more time and you don't have arthritis, needle turn applique is one of my favorites. But as we get older and time kind of goes faster, look at Mary. Mary's laughing at me over here. Do you see Mary? Look at her. She's like got such a belly laugh at the moment. There's Mary Beatty in person here she's working on her rooster quilt. So come here, Roger. Let's show them the rooster quilt. So she's hoping that I'll demo on her rooster to get it finished. But no such luck, Mary. I got my own unfinished project. Sure. So the one that Mary just showed us is the rooster from Virginia Robertson. We do have a kit for that, and we do have patterns. So if you're interested in that, just put it in the comments. But today what I'm going to show you is I'm going to demo how to do, I'm kind of taking, for those of you who joined us when Penny demoed, I'm going to take her free motion zigzag stitch because typically what we do is the buttonhole stitch, which is what we did on this quill quilt. So I don't know if you can zoom up here. This is the quill quilt. It's called A Gathering by Barbara Persing. We do have kits and patterns for this also. Surprise! But so the buttonhole stitch is kind of a predominant stitch, but it's very structured. So all around, and it does have a great effect. We used a variegated rainbow thread around it, but it's all done on the machine. So everything was fused down with Steam-A-Seam 2 Light, which is my favorite because you get a temporary hold. So sometimes I use what people throw in the trash can because I'm cheap like that. So on the one that I'm working on, hold still.
Tell the ladies to bear with me. I'm trying to work.
Okay, bear with Roger. He's trying to use my cell phone because my iPad I left at home plugged up. So we're improvising today.
I can't get it to go back down. Its size.
Oh, you're right. Yes.
What if you tap it?
I did.
Okay, what if I just get further away? Okay, so I'm just going to talk while he tries to resize it because I guess he zoomed in and now it won't unzoom. So, as you know, if you've followed us for any length of time, we are not we should disclaim this at the beginning of every live. We are not videographers. We are not paid actors or actresses. We are just quilt shop owners.
It zoomed in on me. Hi.
We're just quilt shop owners making the best of
got it.
Facebook and COVID and coming live to you. So what I'm going to show you next is needle turn. So some of you are into needle turn. So I'm going to come up close to you, Roger, so you don't have to zoom in again. So this was a fun quilt that I made. As you can tell, my quilts never get actually quilted. This was an Eleanor Piece Bailey. I have to show it over to the audience because Mary is here. Oh, look. Somebody ripped my binding.
Hold it up and I'll walk away.
I'm going to have to bone ash it. You'll never know it was ripped. So this is one that I made. It's an Eleanor Piece Bailey pattern. Gosh, and I made this probably 15 years ago. I think when Devin was a baby. But it's all needle turned applique. So every stitch, there's no fusible. It's all turned by the needle. And I'll demo that a different day for those of you that are interested in that. But today, what we're going to demo is the machine applique. So Barbara Persing, who had the gathering quilts, she has a new quilt that hasn't hit the market yet. We haven't gotten the fabric, but I did get some sample fabric so that I could make the shop sample in advance, although I think it's coming out like next week. So I don't know how advanced. I've had it for weeks sitting here, but I haven't gotten to it. So this is my first block. And it's this is what it's going to look like. And it is a block of the month, but we don't do it as a block of a month. We will just mail you the whole kit if you're interested in it when it comes. So I did use Steam-A-Seam 2 Light, and I also used, what is it called? Heat and Bond. Heat and Bond does not have that temporary stick, so I've had to use pins to hold it in place. But you can see here, this one, I did use Steam-A-Seam 2, so I can just go like this, rub it, and then it does not have a pin, but if I move it, see how it holds temporarily? So that's the reason that I use the Steam-A-Seam 2, because I like that temporary hold. Then if it's not in the right place, I can just pick it up and move it to where I want it. So then I'm going to demo. So what I did, and this is a little blonde tip. Because I'm a blonde, I need extra help, apparently. So a lot of times the pattern designers will reverse the pattern for you, but a lot of times they don't. And a lot of times you think they might, but they didn't, but they might have. It gets too confusing. So I know for a fact that if I trace on the sticky side, so I peel my paper, so this is a sheet of Steam-A-Seam 2. I peel up the side that comes off the easiest, and I trace with my Sharpie. Typically I would trace with like a light blue Sharpie so that it won't show through the fabrics. But I trace right onto the sticky side of my fusible, and then I iron that onto the wrong side of my fabric so that I get this. So here's the right side, here's the wrong side. I always number on the wrong side because that way when I peel off the paper, I'm not going to have the number in the middle of my fabric. So I always put my number on the back side of my fabric. And then what I would do is I would score this. I would take a pin and I would score it.
Okay, one more time.
I would just score it with my pen, P-I-N, and then that way I can get my paper off easier. Sometimes it's hard to get your paper to start peeling off, but if you score it, it works perfect. And then I've got a light box here. I've got our small light box. I want to say they're $20. I've got the small light box here, and I'm not sure at this point. We've kind of been rushing around this morning. So I'm pretty sure this one is going to go under here. So see if I take my temporary hold here, if I just rub it, then I can pick it up and see how it doesn't move, which I can't do with this one. This one's just flopping around because this one I use the heat and bond. So Steam-A-Seam will have a temporary hold, but you can pick it up and move it where you want it. So then I'm going to show you, we have no comments yet. Nobody said hello.
Yeah, lots of people have, but I've been tuned in to you. Marcia White shared, Lewis Wagner. Hi, ladies and gentlemen.
Mercy White, don't forget that you're in a class today at 4:30. We have the 7 Block Wonder tonight from 4:30 to 7:30. It's going to be so exciting to work a 12-hour day.
Phyllis Lewis wants to know, does Steam-A-Seam get stiff? I used it once, and the quilt is like cardboard.
It doesn't necessarily get stiff. I don't know that was the issue. It is stiff. Definitely it's stiff. If you don't want, like you cannot, if you use Steam-A-Seam, do not fold your project. Your project has to be rolled. If you use, if you want it to be soft, you could use, what's the name? I never use it, but a lot of my art quilters use it.
I don't know, Peggy, but I checked it. When you have arthritic hands like mine, it's hard to hold a small cell phone.
I'm a common.
And there's this one here too. Sorry, girls. So far, we only have this one ready for me. Say sorry we didn't get to it. Okay, so if you are want something softer, the Soft Fuse, the Soft Fuse is a great fusible product. I don't use the Soft Fuse because I'm like a bull in a china shop. I'm too rough on it, and I put it inside my, like, this bag goes with me back and forth from home. Like, I got my pizza in there, goldfish, everything I need's in there. So I'm too rough on it, and it just disintegrates on me. So I don't use the Soft Fuse, but lots of art quilters do. So if you're looking for something that's not going to be as hard as the Steam-A-Seam, the Soft Fuse is a good choice. Okay, any other questions? But with any fusible quilt, any quilt that you use fusible on, do not fold the quilt because you will get a crease where the fusible is, it just does not bounce back like a good batting would. So don't fold it, always roll it. Any other questions?
No.
Okay. So then I'm going to show you, if you watched the other day, Penny Barger was online and she showed us how to do the invisible applique stitch on the project. We're not going to do the invisible stitch because we're saving that for when we get a date with Penny to teach us the class and for when we get the product in. So we're still waiting on the superior bobbins and YLI threads. But what I am going to show you is
Lynn Jenkins said that she loves Soft Fuse. You should get the smaller cuts.
Okay, Lynn, I will order anything you want. So just let me know what you want. I'm happy to get that for you. So I am actually placing an order this afternoon with Mario. So tell me what size you want, or if you just want the, I think there's one smaller that's in a roll. So what I'm going to show you today is we just got in some great D-twist threads. You guys have seen it on Instagram and Facebook. It's two 40-weight threads intertwined together to give you a three-dimensional look. So if you can see right here, I don't know if you want me to zoom in. So I did it right here, and what I did is I did Penny's small stitch, but I left her zigzag. I left it at a 2.5 because for me, if I'm going to go to all the work of stitching and I'm going to buy the expensive D-twist thread, it's actually not that expensive, but it is two threads wrapped together. So you're basically getting two threads. Anyways, here it is right here. Can you see that? So instead of doing the regular buttonhole stitch, I'm just doing more of a zigzag bun stitch. So I'm just going to put this right under here. I've got my free motion foot on. So I've already got it loaded. I'm going to always, I want to start right at the tip. So I'm going to back that up a little bit. I always pick up my bobbin thread so that it doesn't make a nest in the back. Make sure your presser foot's down. It's hard to tell whether your presser foot's down when you're using a free motion foot because it doesn't fit snugly so that you have the option to move your fabrics. And then in the bobbin, I have Deco Bob by Wonderfil. It's an 80-weight thread. So it's a very, I don't know if you can see it, it's a very fine thread. So remember, the higher the number of thread, the thinner it is. And so an 8-weight thread would be a really thick thread. You wouldn't even be able to fit it through your needle. You would have to couch it on, or you would have to use it as bobbin work. And we do have a thread class October 5th if you're interested. And if you're new to us, you can just comment and we'll try to answer your questions. So see how I've got the zigzag on, but the free motion. So I'm not really having to do anything but just move my fabric. And if I was at home, I would be on my little pink machine that has a scissor cutter built in, so I wouldn't have to get my scissors. But I know a lot of you the other day loved my little zinger thing here. with my scissors. So I have ordered some of those. So don't worry, don't panic, they're coming. So that's what it looks like. With the little zigzag, it's kind of to me not as, I don't know what the right word is, but it gives it a little bit more of a natural look as opposed to the buttonhole stitch that's very regimented, a little bit more artistic. And you can always move your fabric faster or slower to get your stitches to be closer together. Okay, any questions on that? Anybody?
Have you ever made your templates for applique by using freezer paper on the right side of the fabric? That's from Phyllis Lewis.
Yes. Yes, I've used that method lots of times. I did a whole Baltimore applique quilt. I'll post a photo of it, but it's all needle turn. So when I do needle turn, a lot of times I use the freezer paper on the top for my pattern.
Carolyn wants to know, can I get some Deco Bob 80 weight thread, maybe in neutral color?
You certainly can. And I think we found a half yard of horses for you, Carolyn. And whatever else was on your list today, we put that in your bag too. Okay, so are there any questions about applique? We do an applique club once a month. I'm not sure what the date is. We just had one. We just had one last week. So the next one is October 22nd. So October 22nd, it's Thursdays from 1 to 3:30, and it's free. You just send us a note saying you want to be in the applique Zoom class, or you can come down to the shop. And is there any other questions? Okay, perfect. All right, girls, thanks for joining, and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Sorry we forgot the iPad and had to use our phone for videoing, but we've got a lot of orders from Friday that we've got to get cut and mailed out. So we will see you on Wednesday. Wednesday, we are demoing the 60-degree ruler again. And then we have some other things in the works. So stay tuned. And I did find, because you know I'm always upstairs, I quilted 4 quilts this weekend. So while I was upstairs, sidetracked because I can't stay focused, I did find, look at all of these wooden spools. So I'm going to throw in a couple of wooden spools for all of you that ordered the yo-yo set on Friday. So that's a little added bonus surprise you didn't know was coming your way. All right, we will talk to you on Wednesday. Have a great day.